Good evening and welcome to another edition of the AGP Sportscast. I'm Samuel GILLIS with your Tuesday the 10th news stories. Thanks for joining us. Stanford Howard will tell us now that Guyana's participation at the Carifta Games hangs in the balance in the face of the current political crisis. More in this report.
The ongoing unstable political climate in Guyana has put the local athletics chief in a state of worry as it relates to local participation in the upcoming Carifta Games, noting that the government of Guyana usually coughs up between 75 to 90% of the fund needed for the Games. Guyana Athletics Association President Aubrey Hudson told AGP Sport via a phone interview that a current uncertain political climate has the capacity to negatively impact the Carifta team.
That's one of our areas of concern. But, we're hoping that it gets resolved very, very shortly. And hope that we can get our team out there. Getting to
Bermuda,
we're looking at two options. There's a charter service leaving out of Trinidad and Tobago that's organized by NACAC, which is the North American, Central American, and Caribbean Athletic Confederation.
Mm-hmm.
And our other option is going with American Airlines.
However, according to Hudson, he was already considering other possible alternative measures to ensure Guyana's participation in the Games if the political crisis is not resolved in a timely manner. Hudson lamented that the private sector, which is another main contributor to the event, has also been adversely affected by the ongoing political debacle. He is, however, maintaining his optimism that things will work out favorably.
We're all prepared. All the letters to go out are there. So we're just waiting to see what's going to happen. We may have to call on some non-traditional partners, like, for example, our colleagues in the United States of America, who would normally give us some support as well, to see how best they can step up, and even probably onto the parents themselves to see how committed they are, because getting to Bermuda is going to cost us almost $2,000 per athlete.
Commenting on the COVID-19, which continues to surface in parts of the U.S. and the Caribbean, the Guyana Athletics Association boss noted that so far, the governing body, the North American, Central America, and Caribbean Athletics Association, has not indicated any possible postponements or cancellations of the game.
All things are being taken, all steps are being taken to make sure that we have a clean and safe games. I would hope, but I heard of nothing coming from them saying, we need to take extra steps to prevent coronavirus getting into the village, or we will not have these games because of a fear of that.
So far, 12 local athletes have qualified to participate in the Carifta Games, scheduled for April 18 to 19 in Bermuda. The final trials are scheduled for this weekend at the Lenora Track and Field Stadium. For HGP Sport, I am Stanford Howard.
Taking a look at the coronavirus ahead of the Carifta Games and the Olympics, the upcoming Carifta Games set to attract more than 600 athletes from 27 Caribbean countries should not be affected by COVID-19. That is spreading across the globe. This is according to the president of Bermuda's National Athletes Association, Donna Rayner. The virus has reached non-English speaking Caribbean countries, with a few cases in the Dominican Republic, Martinique, and St. Martin. The 2020 Summer Olympic in Tokyo, scheduled for July the 24th to August the 9th, is under threat due to the spread of the virus. But as Bermuda prepared to host the 49th Carifta Games for the 5th time, Rayner said she does not expect the COVID-19 situation to disrupt the staging. The West Indies side has chalked up a final warm-up win ahead of the over 50 Cricket World Cup, which bowls off this Wednesday. Jaden Samuels is following.
Playing the Indians in their final warm-up game and winning by 2 wickets on Monday, the men in maroon look rock solid and will begin their campaign in Cape Town on Wednesday. Batting first, the Indians reached 195 with a top score of 42 coming from Tushar Zaveri, 39 from Sanjay Berry, and PG Sunder, 20. Bowling for the West Indies, off spinner Azad Mohammed, 2 for 16. Gerd Hari, 1 for 22. And skipper Zamin Amin, 1 for 24. In reply and needing a 4.5 runs per over run rate, the Maroon side lost some early wickets and at one stage were 74 for 4. However, that glimmer of hope for the Indians were taken away by the lower order who stuck to the task, seeing the West Indies home with 2 wickets to spare. The Over 50 World Cup bowls off this Wednesday. Jalen Samuels, HGP Sport.
The Guyana Jaguars remain on the hunt for the 6th consecutive title after drawing in the 7th round of the West Indies Championship. Stanford Howard tells us more.
The Guyana Jaguars, who secured a draw at Providence on Sunday, is keeping their hopes of another title alive. Barbados Pride, who lost their 7th round match against the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force by some 147 runs, gained another 7.8 points, taking their tally to 116 points to maintain their position atop of the leaderboard. Guyana, who was in 2nd place at the beginning of the 7th round, which earned them 6.8 points to bring their total to 85 points, some 30.2 points away from the leaders, Barbados Pride. The points are rewarded with 1 point being bestowed in intervals of 50 runs for a total scores over 200 for the first 110 overs and up to a maximum of 5 points. With regards to the bowling, 1 point is awarded in intervals of 2 wickets for 3 wickets or more, taking in a team's innings for the first 110 overs, and up to maximum of 3 points. And for pace bowling, 0.2 points for each wicket taken by designated pace bowlers. Drawn matches are now awarded 6 points instead of 8 points, and the range of points awarded for drawn matches has been replaced by each team getting 3 points plus the bonus points. For HGP Sport, I am Stanford Howard.
And finally, in cricket, West Indies superstar Chris Gayle will find it hard to get back into a strong West Indies squad. This is the position of former cricketer Philo Wallace. More in this report. Veteran West Indies opener Chris Gayle has been in the news over his retirement from the Caribbean side. Now, Philo Wallace, former Barbados and West Indies opening batsman, has expressed that Chris Gayle should no longer harbor thoughts of representing the regional side. After the West Indies romped to an easy victory in their 2-match T20 series against host Sri Lanka, Philo is of the opinion that the squad is balanced and there is no place for Gayle. The Jamaican, who has opened the batting for the West Indies in all formats of the game for many years, has not played for the regional team in the shortest format of the game for the past year. His last T20 match was on March the 8th, 2019 versus England. Since that time, Lyndall Simmons, who recently returned to the team, as well as Evan Lewis and Brandon King, have been getting the job done. Gayle was scheduled to take part in Nepal's Everest T20 League, but the competition was cancelled due to the coronavirus outbreak. But he has ambitions of representing the West Indies in this year's T20 World Cup, where they are the defending champions. For GP Sport, I am Samuel Gillis. And that's all we have for this edition of the AGP Sportscast. I'm Samuel Gillis. Thanks to Jaden and Stanford for the details in these stories. Just remember to just do it.